Higher education encourages entrepreneurs and innovators. Dr. Ayman Ashur, Minister of Higher Education and Scientific Research, and Dr. Rida Hgazi, Minister of Education, witnesses the conclusion of the 2023 Innovators and Fund competitions. The Minister of Higher Education stressed that the Ministry of Higher Education and Scientific Research attaches great importance to not nurturing entrepreneurs and innovators to achieve sustainable development within the framework of National Strategy for Higher Education and Scientific Research that was launched on last March the 7th. Dr. Ayman Ashur pointed out that this strategy has achieved tangible achievements in terms of innovation and entrepreneurship, including the gradual improvement of Egypt's position in the Global Innovation Index. The Minister of Education stressed that innovators are the ones who will lead change in the future, and that the ministry has centers for innovators and schools for outstanding students in science and technology, which aims to prepare young researchers. Well, to shed more light on this, we have the pleasure to have this phone with Dr. Magid, Ghonima, member of the Innovators Support Fund. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Thank you for inviting.
It's my pleasure. Well, Dr. Ghonima, what is the role of the investors Innovators and Genius Fund?
Okay, so as you mentioned briefly, the Ministry of Higher Education and Scientific Research has a big push right now through its strategy and many executive plans being pushed out so we can support entrepreneurs and innovators. And this is being done through the three different arms under the ministry, which is the Academy of Scientific Research and Technology, the ASRT, the SCS, as well as the third younger member of these arms, which is the Innovator Support Fund. The Innovator Support Fund is a fund that has been created by the ministry so that we can support innovators and entrepreneurs, whether they are school students, pre-university students, or they are university undergrads, or they're even graduates and researchers. And we work hand in hand with many partners, whether they are governmental institutions, private sector companies, in addition, of course, to the different NGOs that we work with.
Yes, Dr. Ghonima, the fund have concluded the activities of the 2023 competition and exhibition. What are the most important ideas that were presented this year, the year 2023?
As I mentioned, the ISF is the youngest member inside the ministry right now. This was the second season that we worked with, and we worked with many teams as undergrads, researchers, and high school students. Those different teams that we were happy to have last Sunday were working in multiple market sectors: food and agri, medical sector, the financial sector, energy, engineering, and ICT, and so on and so forth. All of these different sectors were represented by multiple innovations and startups that were pushed out by these high school students, in addition to other teams from undergrad, in addition to other 20 teams coming in who were researchers that started transforming the different outputs of their R&D projects into startups through one of the programs that we have.
Yes. So, Dr. Ghonima, the National Education Strategy is concerned with encouraging entrepreneurs and innovators. So, how is this, was this achieved through such competitions?
Definitely. The competition themselves is a part of the overall strategy. As you mentioned, the National Higher Education Strategy that was launched in March of 2023 is being implemented through multiple arms, so that we can push our universities and research institutes to be fourth-generation universities. They are these universities that are pushing all of their resources such that they can have outputs that contribute to the economy. And in order to do so, we are stronger strongly supporting all kinds of different initiatives and efforts that support innovators and entrepreneurs through education, through training, through mentoring, and also through funding investment. And this is what happened in this past season, and we're very happy to see all of these different projects coming out, and this is the initial stage. We're using competition over here as a tool so that we can attract these young innovators, these young entrepreneurs. We're putting in those small prize money, availing a lot of training and mentoring so that we can attract them and give them some of the initial support. Once they come out, we go to the second stage, and this was announced last Sunday, where we will have the National Innovation and Entrepreneurship Olympics that is currently being executed under the patronage of His Excellency, the President of Egypt. This is where each of the 98 universities will have a 6-month program, which is their local Olympics inside the university, where the different entrepreneurs and innovators will be contributing with their teams, competing against each other so that they can identify the top innovators and entrepreneurs at each university. Once that first phase is over, we take the best of each university within a certain geographical region. As you know, Egypt is divided into 7 geographical regions, and in each region, they will compete against each other so that we get the top of them.
Yes.
And at the top of these, we will pick the 65 top, and they will be, we will set a light on them in a TV program, which is called Gen Z, something which is very similar to Shark Tank and Corsa, but it's focused more on idea stage startups. And this is where these 65 teams will be competing against each other so that each team will receive funding from £500,000 Egyptian pounds to 2 million Egyptian pounds. And they're going to be receiving this money in the third stage of the strategy. In the third part of the strategy, this is where we get the top teams, whether they are undergrad, graduates, or researchers, and we push funds so that they are either incubated, now a virtual incubator, or virtual accelerator. And this is where we provide them not just with cash, but with a lot of in-kind services in terms of training, mentoring, access to finance, matchmaking events, and so on and so forth.
Yes.
And then once they are out of that program, we have the fourth stage, where the Ministry of Higher Education is championing a fund of funds, where we will be contributing budgets available so that we can create more high-tech funds, VCs, that will be able to invest in many of these startups so that they can become profitable companies that contribute to the fund.
Yes. So, Dr. Ghonima, what makes this year's competition different from previous years? What are the activities that were held in different years of education in order to encourage innovators?
The different competitions that were held was, first, we created what we called innovation clubs in the different high schools, STEM high schools. We started with STEM high schools last year, and this year we are scaling into the Nile schools and other governmental public schools across Egypt. And this is, of course, in collaboration with the Ministry of Education, and we were honored by the presence of the Minister of His Excellency, the Minister of Education, and Minister of Higher Education. And this is where throughout the year we gave them a lot of different webinars and courses to teach them the basics of design thinking, the basics of innovation and entrepreneurship. And it started converting what they were taught into actual products that solve problems, pains, and needs inside the community and market. We also provided the mentorship, and this is how they came up with multiple products. And for you to understand the level of them, some of these students were even supported. They participated in international competitions, and 2 of them were able to gain the top prize across the world. This was also done in another competition, which is called the Innovation Catalyst, and this was targeted towards undergrad. And there was another one, which is Changemaker, which is also towards innovation, but it's more towards social innovation and entrepreneurship, looking into initiatives that can support the community. And we had over 100 applicants, team applicants, coming in across the different universities in Egypt, where top 30 were given different funds and in-kind services until we picked the top 3 in the Innovation Capitalist competition, the top 3 in the iClub high school competition, and the top 3 in the change making competition. Not just that, we also have an R2E program, which is the Researcher to Entrepreneurs program. And this is where we work with over 40 different research institutes and universities, working with their researchers so that they can create teams and start converting their mindset into an entrepreneurial mindset. And we did this program, which was mimicked from the I4 program that the National Science Foundation in the U.S. is implementing, but we sort of localized it that it's suitable to the Egyptian local ecosystem. And had more than 40 different research teams that were sitting with investors last Friday, taking whatever they did to the next level so that we can see how we can invest in them to start the startups that are based on the technologies that they have developed in their labs.
Yes, Dr. Ghonima, at the level of scientific research, Egypt have reached or advanced in the ranking of the countries with the highest rate of research publication in the world. What is the significance of this progress?
In the past 5 years, there was a big emphasis from the Ministry of Higher Education and Scientific Research in promoting the level of publication that comes out of the different higher education institutions. There was a lot of policies that were improvised so that we can encourage researchers to do the R&D, make sure that it is really targeted towards top-level research that also benefits many of the needs that the country wants. And there was a lot of incentives that were given to these researchers. And this is what is reflected right now in what you just said, that we were able to improve the ranking of these universities. We also see a larger number of our scientists being cited and being part of the top 2% of researchers being cited worldwide. What we're doing right now, with the meetings that I just came out of, is that we are coming up with a new national innovation policy, so that we can have this strong push, not just in scientific research, but also in innovation, in direct scientific R&D towards solving the needs and things that the Egyptian market, industry, and community need at the today.
Yes. Also, on the other hand, a large number of universities have joined the international rankings. So what is the importance of choosing Egyptian universities among the best universities in the world?
From my point of view, of course, there are many benefits, but let's take some of the top benefits. The first benefit is that you will have graduates coming out of these universities that are certified that they are part of the top universities across the world. This opens up a lot of job markets to them, so that Egyptian graduates can either work in Egypt, which we really prefer so that we can promote our industry and market, but they also have the international job market open to them, given that they have graduates from renowned universities that are part of this top ranking.
Yes.
The second part is the other way around. Now that you have top-ranked universities in Egypt, we can market this outside so that the students, the high school students looking to pursue their education can come and study in Egypt. This is not something new to Egypt. And if you go back 30 or 40 years, Egypt was the top country in the region in which students coming in from all over the region came and studied in Egypt. We want to push that and regain that again by targeting the Middle East and North Africa, in addition to the African continent, so that we can attract the best students across these countries to come study in Egypt in these great universities that are highly ranked across the world.
Yes, I thank you very much for your time. Thank you for explaining to us, and thank you for your valuable information. Dr. Magid Ghonima, member of the Innovators Support Fund. Thank you very much for joining us over the phone. I really had the pleasure to have this phone with you. With this, my dear viewers, we come to the end of this episode of our program, Cairo Local Time. My name is Amal Mukhtar. Thank you for watching.